Well, hey everyone, welcome to the call. My name is Dr. Kurt Fisnick, and I am unable to bring Milo Acosta live with us tonight because he was going to be out of range cell service, so he couldn't be here. So we jumped on a call earlier today at around noon time, right before noon, and I recorded a call that I had with Milo, and he shared a lot of great information about I guess I'm going to call it the state of the company, where we're at and what's been going on. And, you know, I think this is great information that we really need to share with other people. Right now, when we take a look at what's happening in the world, um, at least from my perspective, I see businesses failing all the time. Every week, I hear of new businesses right here in my area, and I live in a small town. I mean, relatively, we have about 150,000 people, and there's businesses that are failing every single week because of things as a result of the pandemic. And so when you hear of a company that's had steady growth, I mean, just rock steady growth month after month after month, from 2019 through now, through today, we've had tremendous growth. So that's what we're going to share with you tonight. So hang on one second, and I'm going to bring this recording on. I want you to see what we have. So hang on. Well, good morning, Milo. Welcome to the webinar, and thanks for being my guest today. And I know we're pre-recording this. I'm going to play it again tonight at 8 o'clock Central Time for everybody that wants to hear it. And I heard you had a fantastic presentation last week.
It was an amazing meeting, and good morning, and thank you so much, Kurt, for having me on this call. And it was an amazing event, and I'm sure that you guys touched on it in previous calls that you guys had with Sisel and Barb and everybody. I don't know, it's probably the best Marrow that we've had, in a long time. And I heard it from Tom, I've heard it from Sisel and everybody about this, and how. And from all of the leaders that were here, we had almost 200 people here. On Thursday, on Friday, Saturday, the trainings that we had, the leaders did an amazing job training on how to build a business, the motivation, and all the things that they talked about to start a business and to keep growing as leaders and developing leaders. So yes, it was an amazing Marrow Mountain, and now all the energy is out there, and they want to make sure that everything that they learned in Marrow Mountain, they start sharing it with people. We're going to be traveling. Tom has a master's here next month. I'll be traveling at the same time for a couple of mini masters. So yes, we had an amazing event, and we did a little presentation on the state of Sisel, and showed the numbers, percentages from 2019, which are incredible.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I heard it was an incredible presentation that you gave, and so hands to you, and
Thank you.
And to Sisel as well, because right now I can turn on the news and there's another business that's closing right here in my city. They can't get employees. Just there's businesses closing all over the place, all over the country, because of employee issues, because of this, because of that. And meanwhile, here we have a company that we've had tremendous growth during the same time. We didn't even falter in 2020 when this virus first hit. We had growth in 2020, and we've consistently had growth throughout the whole thing. And and there's some little issues yet, shipping off to Australia and New Zealand, and I've kind of figured out what's finally going on there. It turns out that we send a lot of mail on the bottom of passenger planes, and the reason we can't ship anything over to Australia is because we have fewer passenger planes going over. So all of a sudden, where are we going to put the mail? And so that was the one big reason that I finally found out from talking. It was actually a UPS guy, UPS man, that actually told me the reason. I'm like, finally somebody made sense of it. But so we won't get into all that, but Milo, I'm just going to hand it over to you. I want you to do your presentation, and let's go there.
Yeah, absolutely. No, and I know that Thomas is working with a new 3PL right now that is offering better things. So we're always in constant communication with other resources to make sure that we pass on the savings to you guys. So we should have, hopefully we have something, with this other company. But anyway, we're still working, always working just to make sure that you guys have better, especially the shipping prices, that we understand how difficult that can be. But yeah, I'm going to be, let me just go ahead and change this, share my screen with you guys and let you guys know about how this is going on. And can you see the big screen right now, Kurt, or the small one?
I see the big screen. Yeah, I just minimized, or I got rid of our photos on there so they don't see a video of us anymore.
Okay, perfect. All right. Yes. So we like you see here on this first graph, this is North America. This is the sales percentages starting in 2019. Like you were saying, we had a little over 10% growth compared to 2018 and 19. And we had like 2 or 3%, 10%, well, 2 or 3% over 2019. And I'll show you the exact percentages. 2021, though, when we were still part of the pandemic, we grew up to almost 30%. And right now, how we're trending, it's a little over 40% growth compared to 2021. It's not compared to 2019, guys, which is amazing. And you'll see the orders per year that we have, the amount of orders that people are placing, and how, we're growing 8% in 2020, 16% in 2021, and we're on trend with a little over 16% on 2022. But this is a graph that I put together, running the numbers from 2019, 2021, and up to May of 2022. The 12.80% growth compared to 2018 was amazing. The pandemic hit on 2020. Most of the companies' sales tanked, on most network marketing companies, and just every other company, to be honest with you, because the pandemic, we couldn't buy plastics, we couldn't buy this, we couldn't buy that. The advantage that we have as a company is that we own our own manufacturing, like as you guys know. Plus, what the Mowers do is they buy in bulk bottles or caps or seals or whatever it is, just to make sure they have enough in inventory, in case something like this happens. Fortunately, we had a lot of that in inventory, so we could, still build products, on 2020. So you see the growth that was 13.70% growth compared to 2019, which was amazing. So every year that you see here, guys, is a record-setting year for Sisel, starting back in 2018. So 19 was a record growth by 12.80% growth. 2020, 13.70% growth. And then on 2021, we did a huge spike, by a 30.90% growth compared to 2020. Okay. And you'll see the graph in gray, how the numbers are going. And then I pulled the numbers for the first 5 months of this year until May. And you'll see how the trend that we have of 41.60% on the first 5 months. And that's compared to 2021. If we compare the numbers to 2019, if you see in April's sales, we're up 95% compared to April of 2019. So that's the amount of growth that we've had in Sisel, up to compared to 2019. And like I keep saying, 2019 was a record-setting year for us. 2020, after that, we overpassed that. 2021, we blew it out of the water, almost doubled. And then the way that we're doing right now is amazing, because it's over 90% growth in April, and in May it was mid 80% growth. So it's amazing, what you guys are doing out in the field, and it's all thanks to you guys. We see the leadership that we have out in the field. We see the energy and the enthusiasm of people going out there and sharing the Maurer mission. Another slide that we have is on other companies and what they've done, in the first quarter of 2021 versus first quarter of 2022, you see other companies like Herbalife that declined, lost or was down 11%. Medifast was up 22%. New Skin was down 10%. There's Tupperware, you see that it was down 15%. USANA, these are big companies, guys, and you see, the size of these companies and how much they were down on the first quarter of last year. And you see our numbers, which we're up in the first quarter 36%. The numbers that I showed before were the first up to May, so the first 3 months, January, February, and March, for the first quarter, where we're up 36.5%. So that's how much you see how even the network marketing companies usually are like, yeah, we were pretty flat, which is good. We grew 1%, which is amazing. 2%, when we talk about these kind of numbers of 36.5% on the first quarter, or 95% compared to April of last year, or 85% compared to May. These are numbers that is just unbelievable, for a network marketing company. So it's a great time to start building. We're a 16-year-old company that is growing at this pace. I've never heard of a company that has done that ever, in my 20 plus years in network marketing. Obviously, these numbers you can see when they're startup companies, the first in months, or the first year or two, here and there. But a company with the experience that we have and being in business for 16 years, it's absolutely amazing to see these kind of numbers compared, year after year after year, and see that trend, going up. So I see the energy with the people that we had, and I'm not going to be touching on the compensation plan a lot. But I actually did talk a little about that during my presentation, and we see the different kinds of profit centers that you guys have the opportunity to earn. We have, the LRP voucher, the shipping voucher, that you can get free product every 4 months. The shipping voucher, you can get free product every year and get pretty much everything that you paid for ground shipping for 12 months. Fast Start, we pay weekly. Every time that you sign somebody up, brand new distributor, you get 25%, and that's a weekly pay. Preferred customer is weekly too. That's a lot. 80% of the people don't want to build a business but love network marketing products. You always get 25% for life on every preferred customer. Direct commissions is the bloodline of it's your residual income. That's paid monthly. Infinity bonus is monthly. Check match, lifestyle bonus that you can get a certain amount depending on your rank. That's a monthly commission as well. Rank advancement is a one-time hit that you get when you rank up, also a monthly commission. And we have the awesome wealth builder system that if you're really aggressive and really want to build and grow fast, we have this awesome coded bonus that is it's meant to do specifically that. Go out there, talk to people, get the products, these packs at a great value discount, and duplicate all your same efforts, and you'll get compensated. Your people that participate on the system will get compensated, and you'll start ranking up at the same time. Another thing that we actually released during Marymount is a new Autoship program. And you guys know that Autoship is the bloodline of a company. If you're on Autoship, you know exactly where you're at on volume. You will never miss out on anything. This new Autoship system or program that we released, it's available for all distributors and preferred customers. Okay, this start this week. I think it started on Monday. So basically, what's going to happen is that everybody that's on Autoship will get that on 300 PV or more will receive a 5% discount. Okay, over the wholesale price. Okay, right now, if you pay $54 for a Fucoidan, you'll get a 5% discount, and you'll get the full PV. Okay, on the Fucoidan. So 300 PV or more, put yourself on Autoship, and you will receive that discount month after month after month, and you'll still be qualifying for Autoships. The current distributors will automatically qualify. So if you have your Autoship tomorrow, you'll see that 5% discount applied. But you have to be on Autoship. If you place an order over 300 PV and you're not in the system as an Autoship, you won't get that discount. Okay, so you need to make sure that you go into your back office, set an Autoship, the products that you want on a monthly basis that's over 300 PV, and you'll get that 5% discount from here on. Okay, you'll automatically qualify for 8% LRP, and you'll automatically qualify for a shipping voucher. I keep saying that because sometimes people, like, for our compensation plan, you guys don't need to be on Autoship to receive commissions. You can place an order and qualify to receive commissions, right? But and I've seen this over and over and over when people, place an order and they're like, okay, I'm gonna try to get my shipping voucher at the end of the year, So one of the months, instead of putting 250 PV, they put, 248, and then the next month they get 250, 250, 250. When they're expecting their shipping voucher, they find out that 1 month they were 2 points short, and we can't do anything about it because the system doesn't recognize that you qualify for 12 consecutive months. So we kept saying, people, guys, put yourselves on Autoship, and I'm sure Kurt trains on this. Put at least on 300 PV. That way, you get your 8% every 4 months on LRP. You'll get everything on your voucher for your shipping voucher at the end of 12-month period. So you want to make sure that you tell this to your teams. Make sure that they go to your back office or call customer service. You guys, Autoships is not a permanent thing. You guys can cancel anytime. You guys can customize your products every time. Like right now, we just had our deal of the day, that just ended, probably 20 minutes ago. We had, 150 people on queue and customer service all morning because they want to do that. You can customize your Autoship. If you want to buy more product one day or want to try some other products the next month, you can call them. You can go in your back office, change the products. Just make sure that you have over 300 PV so you guys can keep getting that 5% discount, every single month. Obviously, this same program will still qualify you for LRP. Will still give you the same PV, for rank qualifications, for LRP and for shipping. So these, if we keep doing what we're doing, guys, with the new products that were released, you guys probably knew about this, that they're probably coming into the back office in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a brand new avenue that you guys can target brand new people, with the silver and how that is with the new deodorant, and for the things that we have planned for you guys still, by the next 2 or 3 months, and new products and things like that, you guys will definitely are here at the right time, at the right place to start building the business with Sisel International. So I'm not sure, Kurt, if you have any questions for me concerning this. Right now, like I say, the energy here at corporate is amazing. The energy out in the field is amazing. People are ready to start to keep building and keep sharing this this great energy that we got here at Marrow Mountain with everybody on the field.
Excellent. So a couple questions. I just jotted some notes as I was listening to you. So if I have an Autoship, say for $400, do I get the 5% discount immediately on my order? And is it for the full 400, or do they just give me 5% discount on the first 300?
No, it's anything that's over 300 PV. It's PV, not dollar amount. Okay, it has to be PV. Anything that's over 300 PV, you'll get a 5% discount.
Okay.
Yes.
So then if I take and I have a 300 PV order today, and then next week I decide, oh, geez, I need some more products. If I place another order and let's say that it is over 300 PV, and I put it down as an auto ship, and then I go cancel that auto ship, do I get that 5% discount on that order? Because you can have more than one auto ship in a month.
No, it's just one auto ship in a month. The other ones would be a one-time order.
Okay,
right?
I can't have 2 auto ships this month.
No, it's only, I think the system only allows you to do 1 auto ship per month. The second order would be a one-time order,
and that
would, yeah, and that would be just a regular price. But that order will definitely qualify you for, to add it for the shipping and things like that. Absolutely.
Okay, but so if you do a order, like some people, I've got some people who every month, last day of the month, they place their order. They don't do an auto ship. They just place their order, on the last day of the month. So they won't get this.
No, they have to be on the system, has to be registered as auto ship order. So they have to actually create an auto ship profile and the list of whatever they want that's over 300 PV in order for them to receive the the 5% discount.
And there's some advantages to auto ship too, because now you as a company, what products you're going to need next month in July. I mean, if somebody like I might change mine, I go, I have enough toothpaste to last me for the rest of the year. So I take toothpaste off my auto ship and it changes it. But there's some advantages for you guys as a company. And that's why you're able to offer this, because now you know what you have to stockpile away. But there's advantages for us as distributors, because now you're going to pull that stuff off the shelf and you're going to save it for us so that we have our order, versus if it's a one-time order and something's going out of stock, the guy that just placed the order isn't going to get his shipment more, sometimes.
That you're so right. And that's the first thing that we do. When we know that we're going to run out of a product, we shut it down. So we're turn it off so people can't order it, but we leave an inventory enough to fulfill auto ships. And that's another advantage of that, because you'll always be qualified for everything. I mean, if we go on back order for Fucoiden or whatever, you'll still be qualified because you're on auto ship. So the system will always qualify you for the shipping voucher, for the LRP voucher, for your rank, for anything because you're already on auto ship, and then we'll send you the product after we have it in inventory. And at the same time, you're saving another 5% in your price. And like you're saying, even for us, it's a great advantage, obviously, but for you guys as well, because if you have most of your people on auto ship, you know exactly where you're at in volume wise. You know what you guys need to do at the end of the month. You know the calls that you guys need to do. You know exactly who you need to call to say, okay, Kurt, you're $200 short of becoming a 1-star. Make sure that you place the order before the end of the month. Now you know exactly where you're at compared to where you're not on auto ship. And people like, I leave stuff for the end of the month all the time on whatever, I usually call in to place an order. Like we saw on the deal of the day today, I jumped on one of the calls yesterday. I'm like, it's going to start today at 10 and it'll end tomorrow at 10. So call in today because tomorrow will be busy. What happened? When we were at 8 o'clock, we had 150 people on hold, because we as, human beings, we leave everything, we procrastinate, leave everything for the last minute. So when when you're on auto ship, you say as a team, you say, you know what, guys, let's all of us put our auto ship on the 15th, and each leader can determine where they want to. Some leaders say our auto ships are going to be at the first of the month. So most of them put the auto ships at the first of the month. They won, and then now they know for the rest of the month, okay, my 85% of my volume is already placed on the first of the month. So now I know what to do with which people in order for me to qualify for a bigger rank and to help them qualify for the ranks as well. So it's a great way of you keeping track of where your team is at if you put yourself if they put themselves on auto ship. And that's a great way of knowing exactly how much your team is growing by putting themselves on auto ship and now receiving an extra 5% a discount on the products plus LRP 8%. So that would be another 13% just on free product by the 8%. And if you count the amount of shipping that you get back in free product at the end of the 12-month period, usually another $300-400 depending on how many orders you place. That's a huge help, to try out new products, to use your products for sampling for your business, to give away, to send out to people, or just to try a new product yourself. So and it's for free. You just pay tax and shipping.
That's right. Well, and Milo, the other day I was talking about this. Once I found out about this 5% bonus, I put a post on Facebook about it, and right away somebody jumps in, and he's from another company, and he says, oh, you guys is 300 PV. That's way too much. That's way too much. And he said that he roughly did like $100 a month on the company that he's with, and he got paid this awesome amount. And I said, yeah, but I said most people don't have 10,000 people in an organization that they're getting paid on. I said, so when you tell people that, I mean, you think about it, like I always tell people, the first company I ever joined when I started doing network marketing, I was one of the top enrollers. I enrolled a lot of people. I don't remember how many people it was, but let's just say it was around 200 people that I enrolled, and I was a minimizer. And I taught, I did 50 PV because I could get paid on 50 PV, and I taught everybody to do 50 PV. Well, 200 people doing 50 PV, that's what $2,000 in volume.
200 people at 50.
Yeah,
1,000, right.
2,000, right? And let's just say that company paid 7% like our company did, right? Like our company does. I was making only $140, and I did all that work bringing in 200 people, and I wasn't even making triple what I was paying into what I was
It's
into
actually
it.
half that, because it's 1,000. If it's 50 and 2,000, that's 1,000. So it's even less for sure. But yeah.
Yeah. So, so minimizers, I mean, sure, you can jump into Sisel and you can get paid if you do 50 PV. For those people that want to be a minimizer and they say, well, what's the minimum you have to do? Well, 50 PV is the minimum you have to do to get paid. So jump in, do that, but you're never going to make enough money where you're going to be successful at network marketing. And, for those people that are in other companies saying, oh, that's way too much. Well, think about it. A company can't pay you a lot of money if everybody's a minimizer.
Exactly. You'll get a minimized check at the same time. If you think small, you'll get small. If you think big, you'll get big. So it's just a matter of the perspective the person wants to do. If you want to build small and just here and there, yeah, absolutely. We pay 50 points. That's it. You as a distributor, you get 3 levels and you're great, but that's it. You're going to go to master, you have to, a master bill, you have to up it a little, and you can use a preferred customers for that volume as well. But there's ways that you can do that. But if you want to be very aggressive and you really want to build a business, with a residual income that you can use to, leave it to your kids and grandkids and things like that, you really want to go big on this, because you will get, the big results in the check at the end of the month.
Plus, I'll tell you what, I go through 300 PV a product by myself. Me and my 2 dogs, we go through 300 PV a product just between the 3 of us. On top of that, my parents, they don't want to be involved with network marketing. They're in their 80s. They don't want to do network marketing. So I order their products. I've got 3 kids who they love the products, but they don't want to be involved necessarily with network marketing. They're out building their jobs, and so they're not doing it. And I keep trying to get them involved, but they want products. They come over here and steal them out of my pantry and my kitchen all the time. And so I go through a 300 PV product every single month. It's not a big deal. You're replacing your coffee, your toothpaste, your shampoo, your body wash. Now I won't have to smell my stinky armpits anymore. And so I mean, I'll probably go 300 PV of that just in deodorant.
Absolutely. And when you think about, like you were saying, it's just transfer spending, right? You buy deodorant everywhere. You buy laundry detergent, dish soap, coffee, all that stuff that you go to Walmart or big box stores that you buy these cheap products with full of toxins and chemicals, and you still use them. And if you transfer it to really good products without toxins and chemicals that really work, that will help your body and be more healthier, obviously people would love that. Yes, we have the good thing about our company is we have a little bit of everything. If you want to lose weight, if you want to work out, you have the pre-workout and post-workout. If you want to keep it, with a laundry detergent, with multivitamins, with supplements, with whatever you need as in your household and your body, we have enough for everyone. So
excellent. All right. Well, Milo, thanks for joining me today, and you have a wonderful rest of your day. And hopefully everybody gets a chance to listen to this and share it with people. And let's go build this thing big.
Absolutely. Thank you. So thank you for having me. Thank you guys for everything you guys do, and we'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks for being with me tonight. I hope, and thanks for being with me tomorrow morning. For those of you that are down under, those of you that are watching the video, get this out to people. Think about it. We're a 16-year-old company and we're experiencing tremendous growth despite what's going on in the world. I think that says a lot. There's something going on. There's, we're coming out with some new products, and it's a good thing. if get back to the person that sent you this video and let them know, what your interest level is. Thanks a lot. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.